Shalom, Israel. With you momentarily.
Testing, okay.
Shalom, Israel. Yeah, Bashim Yahshua Brakathat, all the brothers. Yeah, Shamar Latham, Bashim Yahshua, all the sisters. This is the Thursday night scripture breakdown class. I am Officer of 50, Sadak Bunyamin. Holding down the class with me is Officer Yanazar, Officer of 50 Yanazar. And the scriptures we're going through, I want everybody to turn to the book of Leviticus, chapter 11. What we're going to break down tonight is something that a lot of people in the world hear us when we speak, talk about not eating pork and not eating things that you are not supposed to eat and things that you are supposed to eat. Tonight, I'm going to give you where we get that from, break that down to you in as best detail as I possibly can, in hopes that you can actually understand that this is a law, this is a commandment that we were given as Israelites to follow. You understand what I'm saying? We have things that we're supposed to do, things that we were commanded to do, and we have a diet that we are to uphold. We're not supposed to eat anything that we can possibly kill and just shove in our pie holes. You understand what I'm saying? We want to, we want to eat pork. We want to go to, I just came from Louisiana. We want to eat shrimp and crawdads and alligator bites and all of this other, Yeah, no, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. They eat alligator, man. Like they sit there and, they chop your boy up and throw some barbecue sauce on them and throw them on the grill and but we're not supposed to do that. That doesn't meet the requirements for something that's edible for an Israelite. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, if you find yourself somewhere on this 12 tribe chart, I don't have the 12 tribe chart in front of me, but if you find yourself somewhere your ancestry falls into, Haiti or St. Croix, the West Indies as it's called, or a number of different places, Brazil, South America, Mexico, wherever. If your lineage falls somewhere on the 12 tribes of Israel, you have these laws of sacrifice, these foods that you're supposed to, eat. You understand what I'm saying? And this is something that we're supposed to carry through our generations. You understand what I'm saying? We're supposed to always do this. I'm not? How about now? Okay. Salakia. But we're always supposed to do this. This is something that we are not supposed to forget to do, just like, waking up and walking out the house and putting on clothes. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to start it from the very top. Let's go to the book of Leviticus. Yanazar, you got it when you're ready.
Kind of I have it, sir.
Go ahead and start at chapter 11 and verse 1.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel.
Of who?
The children of Israel.
Of who?
The children of Israel.
Of who?
The children of Israel.
Say it again. Start from the top. Speak who?
Speak unto the children of Israel.
All right. The children of Israel, those 12 tribes. You understand what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, West Indians. Keep reading, brother.
Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Read that one more time.
It says, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Now you get a lot of people that call themselves vegans or vegetarians or whatever the case may be, and that's fine. If you know if meat is something that you don't want to consume for whatever reason, that's fine. But this just said that the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, telling them to tell the children of Israel that what?
These are the beasts,
The what?
the beasts,
Okay, the beasts. Keep reading.
which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
You heard? Keep reading.
Verse 3, whatsoever parted the hoof.
Hold on. Now let's go through this. Now, Giannis, do me a favor. Get your handy dandy Google machine for me. And can you see what the word parteth, or if maybe parteth hoof comes on in your Google machine? Because I'm somebody when I teach class, the words that most people will just skip over and think everybody should already know or understand. I'm going to make sure you understand it. That's what we do in this school. We break it down so you can understand it, and I'm gonna break it down to the lamest possible term. You understand? So, which one came up?
Parted the hoof came up first.
Give me that. Tell them where you're getting it from.
Okay, this is Leviticus whatsoever. This is images. It's Google. It's
There
just
you go.
Google.
That's Google. Keep going.
It says, compare translations of Leviticus. Leviticus, you may eat. So every part of the hoof, translation and meaning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here we go. Let's see what it says. It says, King James Version. It says, what does this verse really mean? Use this table to get a word for word translation. Man, get to the translation. Parteth.
Mm-hmm. There we
Okay,
go.
we're going to go to parteth, to break to pieces without violence, to split,
Oh, okay.
to distribute.
Okay.
Hoof, a claw or a split hoof.
Okay. So now, parteth. So if my hand was all, imagine my hand is just one, like a fin or a flipper or something like that. You understand? And to split or to part it. You understand? That's parteth. My hand was one, but it's parted now. You understand? So when you see the word parteth, it's a split, like the definition or the breakdown just gave you. Now, brother, go ahead and read what you was reading that for me.
Verse 3, whatsoever parteth the hoof.
Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and the hoof is like the leg of an animal. Keep reading.
And is cloven footed.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is cloven footed? That's the next one for us. That your where you got that from should give you cloven footed, or the word cloven, either or should come up, and that's what we want right there. Because all of this matters. You understand what I'm saying? All of this matters. You have to be able to understand exactly what it is you're hearing. And me just sitting here telling you out of my mouth don't mean nothing. When you can get the definition, the dictionary understanding of the word, then you're winning. You understand what I'm saying? And I want us to win. You feel me? So this is how we win. We win by knowing what it is that we're looking at, knowing what we're reading. You understand? So while he gets that, I want you to know that the animals that you eat, that part of the hoof. So a deer has a hoof. It's cloven footed. You understand? And his hoof is parted. A deer is an animal that you can eat. Deer is a lawful animal. You understand? You got it? Go ahead with it, brother.
Okay, cloven footed also. Cloven footed here, to split or tear, figuratively, to upbraid.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's like,
That's
in a,
that same. That's that same.
yeah, the same one that I went to for the, let me get the definition. Bible, I mean, the dictionary,
There you go.
and then maybe we can get a better understanding. This is Webster Dictionary, in definition of cloven footed. Cloven footed. Okay, so I got to put it as one word. Cloven footed. Okay, let's go. It says cloven footed. Adjective, 13th century, meaning defined above. So there's really cloven hoof.
Mm-hmm.
Cloven hoof. That's all it says. It doesn't have any
It
further.
doesn't. Okay.
It doesn't have any further dictionary.
Here, read this, brother. Because I'm gonna make sure my people get this understanding. You understand? There you go.
Okay. Cloven hoof. A cloven hoof, cleft hoof, divided hoof, or split hoof
Mm-hmm.
is a hoof split into two toes.
Mm-hmm.
This is found on members of the mammalian order Artiodactylia.
Mm-hmm. We ain't got to go through all that, brother. But the
Okay,
definition
meaning
is right
like
there.
deers and pigs and
Right.
other animals.
Right. There you go. You on the money with that. All right. So go ahead and start from number 3, verse 3 again, brother.
Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud.
There's another prerequisite of the animal that we have to, that we can eat. It is cloven footed and cheweth the cud. Now I know a lot of us know what cheweth the cud is. We know what cud is, and just for time's sake, I'm gonna give you what cud is. A cow chews cud. You understand? What it does is it leans down and it'll bite up some grass and it'll chew it up and it'll swallow it down into one of its stomachs, and then it will regurgitate it back up into its mouth and then chew it again before he swallows it yet another time. So that grass that he's chewing and regurgitating and then chewing and swallowing, that is cud. No, it ain't the prettiest thing, but hey, you and me ain't got to eat the cud. You know what I'm saying? That's not for us. That's the prerequisite for the lawful animal that we can consume. That's what it must do for us to consume it. Go ahead and read it again, brother.
That nevertheless, Salakia,
Mm-hmm. No,
verse
from
3.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
Mm-hmm. So a cow is cloven footed and cheweth the cud. I believe a deer is cloven footed and cheweth the cud. Those are 2 examples. Now, if you need more, there are plenty more, but that's what we're gonna go to. What was the other one that the general gave us last week, the week before last? Not a llama. It was
Lamb,
right, lamb, goat,
all type of cattle.
right, and giraffe is one of them.
Giraffe
actually.
is also
But
lawful.
it was another one. It was another one. I want to say it was like goodness, I can't think of it right now. But at the end, bison, yeah. Well, that's
that's cattle.
But nevertheless, those are cloven-footed animals that we can eat. You understand? And I'm gonna let the book keep reading. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat.
Say it again.
These shall ye not eat.
So now we just gave you the animals that are cloven-footed that chew cud that you can eat. So now it's going in directly into the animals that you cannot eat. Read.
Of them that chew the cud.
Mm-hmm.
or of them that divide the hoof.
Now you notice it didn't say and, it split up the two. Read it again for me, brother, so we can break that down right there.
It says, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or
you hear that? Or there you go.
Of them that divide the hoof.
One that may chew the cud or divide the hoof, because there are animals that do one and not the other. You understand? What we just read above there was you had to do both things. You understand? Keep reading.
As the camel.
See it there? That is an animal that does one or the other. Now, a camel is what? What is a camel?
He is not cattle.
No, but which one of the prerequisites does he meet?
He cheweth the cud.
He's cloven-footed. He splits the hoof. Camel toe, you understand? Pause.
Okay.
I ain't trying to go there with that one, but but it does not chew cud.
It says here he does.
Does it now?
Yeah.
Oh, Salakia. Well, there you go. Keep reading.
It says, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof.
Salakia.
Because he doesn't have a hoof. He has toes.
He has toes, right. And I just said it in myself. So I stand corrected. The book will speak for me. Salakia. Keep reading.
He is unclean unto you.
All right. So that is an unclean animal. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. Okay, so now what is a coney? Now, everybody that's watching, I got a couple of people. Shalom, 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 Lord in Christ, sister. All right. Oh, where we go? All right, shalom, Lord in Christ, sisters. Want you to go into your Google and type in the word coney. What you got? Coney is a rabbit or a hare.
Does it have a picture? Just so we can be,
it says rabbit.
It says rabbit or hare, right?
Yeah, but there's no particular picture of it.
I got one right here, and like you said, it's a rabbit or hare. But the thing about a rabbit or hare, it's a smaller version of a rabbit or a hare. You know what I'm saying? Because there's big rabbits, little rabbits, whatever the case may be. They're different breeds. You understand? So when you get back to it, keep reading for me. Here, I got the picture here. Let me see. Let me hold this up. Tell me when you see it on the screen now. You see that? You see that? You see little bunny foo-foo right there? Little bunny foo-foo. He's hopping through the forest, but you can't eat him. All right, keep going, brother.
Because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
So we should all know that he does not have a hoof. And at that, everybody remembers this. I mean, I remember, I ain't that old, but you remember having a lucky rabbit's foot? I remember my mother having one on her keychain. That is something that would let you know whether or not this was something that was lawful. This is not a lawful animal because it was a foot. You understand? It wasn't a hoof. You dig? So keep reading.
Verse 6. And the hare.
And the what?
The hare.
So what is a hare?
He's a larger rabbit.
He's a larger rabbit. All right, keep reading.
He cheweth, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean to you.
The coney, which is a type of rabbit, and a hare, which is another type of rabbit. Two different types of rabbits that are unclean to you. Keep reading. Mind you, you have to understand, this ain't for everybody. East Indians or Lord knows the Japanese and the Koreans or whoever the hell else, they find it in the forest, they bag him up, they eat him, they fry him up, whatever. But this is a law given to a certain people. You have to understand, we are that certain people, the Israelites. And you remember, this was the Lord speaking to Moses and Aaron, telling them what we can and can't eat. Not everybody. You understand? This book does not give laws, statutes, and commandments to everyone. It's a certain people that it gives it to, and that's us, the Israelites. You understand? Keep reading, brother.
Verse 7. And the swine.
Oh, wait a minute. That's one of those ones that black folk will die about eating. Now, if you do not know what a swine is, brother, can you please open up your Google machine? Let's not get too far and let everybody know exactly what a swine is, because there's somebody out there right now that got a whole refrigerator full of swine. He got swine, or she got swine in their freezer, in their refrigerator. They got swine ready for tomorrow morning. But what is swine?
Any, the Webster definition of swine. Any of various snout-bodied, short-legged, omnivorous mammals with a thick, bristly skin and a long, flexible snout. Pig.
There you go. Because I was finna ask you, what animal has a snout that we all know of? And that is the pig. So when you see the word swine, you have to understand when the Bible was written and what we called certain animals then and the names that they are now. You understand what I'm saying? And swine is what, brother?
A
pig.
mammal. He's a pig. He's a swine.
Right.
A pig is a swine.
A pig is a swine. And there's brothers and sisters that, you know, we out here. What's the holiday coming up? Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving, good night. It's gonna be a big old swine's ass on your table, glowing and glistening with pineapples and, and cherries all over it, you know, ready for consumption. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing about it is you praying over that damn thing, right? Because Lord knows everybody has, you know, grandma and, you know, your matriarchs or whatever of the family, and y'all stand around that old pig's ass and you stand there and pray. You are literally trying to pray to the Lord to make it okay to eat something that the book just told you you can't eat. You understand what I'm saying? You're not supposed to do it. But keep reading, brother. Let's let the book keep talking.
And the swine, though he divideth the hoof.
Though he does what?
Divide the hoof.
You understand? He meets one requirement. Keep going.
And be cloven-footed. Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He does what?
Cheweth not the cud.
So what does that mean, Yanazar?
That means he meets two of the requirements, but he doesn't regurgitate his food. He just swallows it down.
So that means he does not meet all of the requirements to be able to be consumed by Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? The swine. So we just went through the animals that you could eat that were cloven-footed. We gave you the deer, the goat, the cow. You understand? Then we gave you the animals that you couldn't. The camel, the coney, the hare, and the what?
The swine.
Keep reading.
He is unclean to you.
He is what?
Unclean to you.
Keep reading.
Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Right.
And their carcasses shall ye not touch.
You hear that?
They are unclean to you.
They're unclean to you, and you cannot touch nor eat them. Now understand something. No, let me be clear. The carcass. What is a carcass, Yanazar?
A dead body.
All right. So the dead animal, the dead swine, the dead pig, you cannot touch his flesh. You cannot touch his dead carcass. You understand? He is unclean to you. This is not Sadok's words. This is the Bible's words. So you can't even touch him. Now, what the crazy part about it is guess what, Yanazar? You can have a pig for a pet. You can have a pig for a pet. Guess what else you can have for a pet? You can have a dog for a pet. You cannot fry dog. Now there are some people, they like to roast dog, Yanazar. Yeah, they they think it's the best thing smoking. Good night. They can have it, just like they can have the pig. If you're an Israelite, you cannot. Sorry, but not sorry is what Officer Thabawan would like to say. Sorry, but not sorry. You understand? So go on here, read that from the top for me, brother.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat,
Mm-hmm.
and their carcass shall ye not touch.
Mm-hmm.
They are unclean to you.
Keep reading, brother.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Mm-hmm. So now we just went through a few land animals. Now we're finna go into the animals that are in the water that are clean and unclean, because there are both. There are animals that are in the water to do a certain job, which is to clean the water itself. And there's an animal that's in the water waiting for me, so I can come fish him up out of there, put some salt and butter on him, and eat him. Keep reading, brother.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Here we go. Dinner time.
Whatsoever hath fins.
Has what?
Fins.
Has what?
Fins.
Keep reading.
And scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So it has to do two things. It has to have fins and scales, right? Fins and scales. Keep reading.
Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
An abomination. That's a big word. Brother, you know what I want, right? I want the definition for the word abomination. You understand? Because we just went through what it has to have to make it edible for you. It has to have scales and fins. But now the animals that don't have one or don't have both, but have one or the other, what animal, and this is an easy one. Anybody watching at home can get this one, I'm sure. What is that animal that black folk love to eat? And it ain't even got to be a special time to fish him up out of the water and fry him up. Giannis, you know what I'm thinking about? There's a couple of them. Number one, what's number one?
Shrimp.
Good night. I wasn't even thinking of the shrimp, but it's another one.
Crab.
No, not even him.
Lobster?
Not even him.
Catfish.
Oh. Catfish. Catfish. Yanazar, when you was in the world, come on, man. Look.
I ate them all.
Listen, there's a place on 79th in Chicago, right? I don't think it's open anymore, right? But you used to be able to go into this place and pick out your catfish, right? Live. My man's was live. And they hook him in his face and pull him up out of the water, slap him with the back of the knife. You understand? It looked like a cartoon on his eye. You hit him upside the head and his eyes X'd up, and my man's was out cold. And they sit there and they cut around his neck and they grab some pliers and they pull that skin off and they sit there and give you some steaks out of that fish. Ooh-wee. You would take that fish home, batter him up, smack it, flip it, and fry him down. Oh, no. You cannot do that. You understand? What you got for me, brother?
Okay, this is the Webster definition of abomination.
Of abomination. All right, take note. Let's go.
Something regarded with disgust.
Ooh.
Or hatred.
Ooh.
Something abominable. Extreme disgust and hatred. Loathing.
Good
a
night.
Crime regarded with abomination.
You hear that? It just gave you all the low down words that abomination represents. You understand? Now, I know somebody at home thinks of the word abomination or abominable, and they think the abominable snowman. We ain't, this ain't no joke right here. Sadak is being serious. All right, you understand? Abomination, man. Read it one more time for me, bro. Give it to me one more time.
Something regarded with disgust or hatred, something abominable, extreme disgust and hatred, loathing, a crime regarded with abomination.
There you go. Now let's go on here back to the book and read that verse again.
This is
Take your time, brother.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
An abomination. This should be loathing unto you. This should be something disgusting to you. You understand? That's what the word abomination means. This should be something that you look at in disgust. Keep reading, brother. What we got next?
Verse 11. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination.
You understand? You can't kill them. You can't hold them. I don't even think you can catch them out of the water and hold them and touch them and take a picture with them. You know, I guess if you keep them on the line and throw them back, I don't know. But at the end of the day, what fish now? What things that we pull out of the water that are fish-wise, just fish-wise, are an abomination. Now, I just gave you catfish. What else what other fish type animal can we not eat?
Two of my ex-favorites I can mention off the top. Tuna fish and mackerel.
You hear that? And understand something. Black folk got tuna fish in the cabinet right now waiting for some mayonnaise and some relish. That's how you ate it, right? That's how you eat it. Understand something. I know you thinking about, putting that sandwich together and killing that bad boy, but understand something. You need to find the nearest neighborly heathen, and he ain't meaning neighbor as the biblical term. That Jimmy next door, you need to give him all the tuna that you have in your cabinet. Because understand something. Salmon is way better. Have you ever had salmon salad? Salmon salad has more flavor than that nasty, disgusting tuna salad. You understand? So now, catfish, catfish, tuna, and what is the other one you said?
Mackerel.
Mackerel. You sure mackerel's one of them?
Yeah, man, because I was eating, like that king mackerel was like my favorite fish. I used to get them steaks. So, when I started going to the fish market, I noticed that they didn't have no scale. So I asked the guy, and he said he didn't know. So what I did, I called Captain Nyatha. And Captain Nyatha told me to look it up. And I looked it up, and it says the same thing about tuna that it says about mackerel, that they have these minuscule scales that you can't see.
Have you ever went fishing before? You never went
one time.
Fishing before? Did you ever catch, do you ever caught a catfish or anything?
I caught a fish, but not a catfish.
Okay, you probably caught something lawful then.
It was like a carp or something, something like that.
So when you pull a catfish out of the water, it's skin. Understand something. Scales, if you rub back, they flake right off. And this is the live fish still. You understand? It ain't got to be dead for them scales to jump up off of there. On a catfish, you can rub that shiny skin and it's smooth. Don't believe what that them devils tell you about. Oh, there's microscopic. No, they ain't. Because when you go to clean that bad boy, you cut around his neck and you grab some. I'm trying to tell you because I didn't seen it done. You understand? I didn't caught the fish. I never had to clean it because when I caught catfish when I was younger, I didn't know how to clean no damn fish. You know what I'm saying? So I had somebody do it for me. You cut around the neck or cut the head off or whatever, and you split it down the stomach and you split it down the back, and you take some pliers and you pull that skin up. You rip that skin off of the fish. That's how you clean it. You understand? That is unlawful to us, brother. Catfish is unlawful to us. That's crazy, I know, because black folk, we love some catfish, especially down south, folk. And my people from Mississippi, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? My mother's side of my family anyway. Mississippi, Alabama. That's what they like. Catfish and crawdads and all of that old, mud hopper, mud skipper type crap. You know what I mean? But understand something. As Israelites, when you come into the truth and you know better, you're supposed to do better. Now that you know that you cannot eat catfish, you cannot eat tuna, get it out of your house. It is an abomination to you. You understand? It's disgusting to you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about how it tastes. You know what I'm saying? Because black folk know how to season up any damn thing and make it taste good. I ain't never had tofu, but I bet you if you give it to the right soul food woman, she'll make some tofu and you'll never know it was not me. I'm trying to tell you, my aunts and my grandmother and them, listen, look, they knew how to season up some food. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Ricotta cheese. This is totally off subject, I know, but ricotta cheese, I don't like ricotta cheese. I like lasagna. Ricotta cheese is something you put in lasagna. But the thing about it is, yeah, well, of course not, but you can take it and you can salt it and season it because, you have a white pepper. You ever seen white pepper? It's white pepper. So you can take your seasoning and your black pepper, your white pepper and your salt, and you can season the ricotta and put it in there and it'll taste good.
So I can say,
go for it.
White pepper is
white pepper.
Is it hot like pepper?
It's just like pepper.
Oh, okay.
I guess they just bleached it or some shit. I don't know. But keep reading. Let's get back on subject, man.
Okay, verse 12. Whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you.
Okay, so now you said it earlier. No fins and no scales. What has no fins and no scales that black folk love to fry up? You said it earlier. Shrimp. Because you can't. What is the big one? Prong? A prong? Is that how you say it? Prong?
What is
the big shrimp?
Yeah.
Because shrimp.
No,
there's a certain shrimp that's like.
I don't know what they call it, though.
I think it's called a prong or something like that. It's a great big shrimp or whatever. Shrimp is something that has no fins and no scales. If you ever was to go and actually get an actual shrimp out of the water, it looked like a roach. Only difference is it got pinchers. It's the roach of the sea is what we call it here in the UPK. You understand? You got your chicken of the sea, which what they call the tuna, right? They call that chicken of the sea. But look, you got a roach for that sea too, and that's called a shrimp. Keep reading. No. What else? Shrimp. There's crab and lobster. Crawfish. Mussels like clams, and it's another one, is it? Clams and oysters. And that's another Louisiana thing. Yeah, man. Look, to see them when I was down there bring out a tray with ice on it, and then they got the oyster cracked open sitting on top. I don't think they cook it. They crack that bad boy open and put him on the ice and bring him out to you, and they put this slimy thing to their face and good night, Salakia. That it looks disgusting.
If I may,
go for it.
Like a little more than 100 years ago, there was this place in New York that was famous for clams and oysters and stuff. They used to put them in ice and ship them out west and stuff like that to the Midwest. But what they found out was he had this like area where he would put the most filthiest water that you can imagine. And these animals being bottom feeders, they would grow large in this water. They're filter feeders, is what they are. Exactly. Yeah. And his clam house was like one of the most famous restaurants in New York City at the time. And believe it or not, it was a brother too. I can believe it. And he became famous for this. But the reason why his clams were so good because he knew the secret. He would farm them in the dirtiest water he could find. That's right. Because they have a job to do here on the earth. They're not here to be eaten. They are here to filter. Understand something. That's why all of our lakes and rivers and whatnot, that used to be clean water. The Native Indians say that before the white man came, you could drink out of any stream in the country. There you go. You could walk to any body of water, stream, river, lake, and drink the water. Why do you think that is? Because they didn't eat the bottom feeders. You understand? Anything that was a clam, oyster, crab, lobster, shrimp, they didn't eat those things because they were there to clean the water.
That's why the water was so clear and clean and you could drink out of it. And now you can't because we have overfished something that you're not supposed to fish. You understand? Good night, man. That thing has a job to do, and we're taking it from its job and we are consuming it, and it is an abomination to Israel. Now, even if we, if we can stop eating shrimp, you understand what I'm saying? It will put a dent in what the shrimp market is at the end of the day. But white folks still gonna sit there and eat shrimp. It ain't gonna get better until you can teach, these oppressors, Salakia. I don't want to get banned. Until you can teach these oppressors that this has a job and it is not to be consumed. You understand what I'm saying? Whenever you're ready, brother, go on here, give me that next one.
Verse 13. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 13. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls.
Here we go. Now, what this basically is telling you that there are birds, because that's what a fowl is, if you didn't know. And I can get the definition, but I'm gonna give our people a chance to believe that they understand, they know what a fowl is. You know what I'm saying? But there are a certain type of birds that we can consume and that we cannot consume. Go ahead and read it to me, brother.
They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination.
There's that word again. These are disgusting birds to you that you cannot eat. Keep reading.
The eagle.
Whoa. They put that, we put that first, but guess who else puts that animal above a lot of animals? The United States of A. You understand? That is their, is it, can you say mascot? That's not the, that's not, is that the right word to use?
Their
symbol.
It's this country symbol.
Yeah. It's the symbol of America at the end of the day. You can't eat. Yeah. And guess what? They abide by that one too. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that funny? They put that bad boy on the endangered species list to make sure you don't kill him and eat him. You understand? Go ahead, keep reading.
And the ostrich, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite, after his kind.
Okay.
If I may, sir.
Go for it.
All of these birds here are birds of prey.
There you go. That's exactly what I was going to go into. The reason why you cannot eat those particular birds is because they have a job. You understand? The cycle of life is what they would like, what you like to call it. You understand? They are a part of the cycle at the end of the day, and they are the part that they scavenge and they hunt. You understand? Keep reading. You was looking up something for me? Go for it. All right, read. Because okay.
And the vulture and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind. Verse 16. And the owl and the nighthawk.
We know what a hawk is. Keep going.
And the cuckoo. That's what I was going to look up because I don't know what that is.
Go ahead, look it up.
Cuckoo.
Because at the end of the day, I believe that's a certain type of vulture as well, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I've skipped over though? When we were talking about what doesn't have scales nor fins? Calamari.
Oh, yeah.
The squid and the octopus.
Word.
Yeah. Those we can't eat either. And I know, if you got Facebook, you've seen that Asian, I think she's Asian, I don't know, that Asian woman sit there and put whatever hot sauce she put on that bad boy. No, the head was gone already, Yanazar. She ate it? Let me tell you what happened. She had it on the plate, right? It's sitting on the plate, it's dead. She put the hot sauce or whatever sauce she put onto the octopus or whatever, and the bad boy start moving out. The tentacles and whatnot start raising up and flapping and moving around and whatnot. My girl sat there and grabbed them with them chopsticks, threw them clean in her face. All you see is this, Yanazar. Damn thing just slapping her in the face as she's chewing him. Oh my goodness.
understand to look at.
Man, look, it was the first time for me. You understand? Watching something like that. No, it gotta be. Hold on. That was on your Google?
No, this is
On what dictionary? Your Bible dictionary? Webster? Google it. Let's Google it. I know I looked it up already.
DUCKOW.
Here you go.
That's in the Webster.
This is a Google definition. Yeah, there you go. That's what I use Google because Google got it all. Well, your Google machine almost never go wrong. Damn it. Read what you got when you're ready.
A cuckoo,
Cuckoo.
are birds in the. Oh.
Please log in to the Google Home app.
I don't know how to get back to where it went to.
There you go.
Cuckoos are birds in the Cuculidae family,
Mhm.
the sole taxon in the order Cuculiformes. The cuckoo family includes the common European cuckoo, roadrunners, coals, macoas, okay, they also birds of prey as well.
At the end of the day.
Like roadrunners.
Yeah, but you understand, it's a certain animal. It's real. This is not that lets you know the Bible's not some fictional made up story. This is a real animal. It really exists. You understand? And it's unlawful. Keep reading.
And the hawk after his kind,
And we know what a hawk is. That's another bird of prey. Keep reading.
and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl.
Now, these are all animals that exist. And if you do not know the name of them or cannot pick up the similarity or the relation, you can Google these animals and you can see a live picture of said animal. Keep reading.
And the swan and the
What verse are we
pelican.
at?
Oh, Salaki, sir. This is verse 18.
Keep reading.
And the swan and the pelican and the gear eagle.
Okay, we know what a swan is. Those are actually those white, so-called beautiful or elegant, birds. You can't eat them. You say they smell horrible. Look, good night. Pelican, if you live by the water or have ever visited the water, you see those pelicans and seagulls. You understand? Those are animals that you cannot eat. Keep reading.
Verse 19. And the stork.
And the who?
The stork.
The stork, the one that the stories say that bring you your baby. You can't eat the baby bringer, damn it. Keep reading that.
The heron after her kind, and the lapwing,
Mhm.
and the bat.
And the who?
The bat.
The who?
The bat.
You can't fry what?
The bat.
Good night. And we got those daggone, oppressors, you know what I'm saying, going over to Ching Chong land and trying them a delicacy. Is it a delicacy is what they would call it? A delicacy. They frying up winged rat. They want some wing rat. You don't want to go to New York and pick up them big rats you was telling us about. Yeah, they want the rats with the wings. You understand? Keep reading now. What's next, man?
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
All fowl that creepeth going upon all fours
Mm-hmm.
shall be an abomination unto you.
Okay. Keep reading.
Verse 21. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four,
Keep reading.
which have legs above their feet.
Legs above their feet. This is the leg. Look, this is the leg. This is the foot. All right. So there are, read it again. Just read it again.
Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four,
Mhm.
which have legs above their feet,
Keep reading.
to leap withal upon the earth.
Okay. Here we go now. We're finna get into the description of what Now, if you haven't picked this up, it's talking about something, and it's talking about something that you can eat that has legs above its feet that crawl on all four and creep across the earth. They're talking about bugs. There are certain bugs, yeah, bugs. There are certain bugs that we can consume. Read it, Yanazar.
Verse 22. Even these of them may ye eat the locust after his kind.
The what?
The locust.
What is a locust, Yanazar?
Like a grasshopper.
There you go. You can eat chocolate covered grasshopper. What did the brother do? He ate the locust with honey. Who was that did
John.
that? There you go. That lets you.
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist ate locusts and honey. You can catch you. I don't. In the hood, like we used to have grasshoppers. You had grasshoppers in New York.
Like if you had a vacant lot, like I remember when I used to live in the Bronx. They had this big vacant lot, and me and my brother used to go in there and catch them.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
that's the only place you see them.
My backyard, we used to have this grass that used to grow up next to the fence, and we called it spider grass. I don't know what the actual name of it was, but they lived in that tall grass, and we would go back there and just catch them. We didn't eat them or anything like that. We were just being kids, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't think I was that adventurous. I don't think if I'd have known then that I could have ate them, I don't think I'd have ate them. Good night.
We used to pull their legs off,
Really?
Yeah, we used to to catch them because they would hop. And we used to use them, we used to catch spiders and stuff and feed them to the spiders. And so in order for the spider to go at him, you would have to take his leg off. Wherever he'll kick the spider, so we used to pull his leg off. We used to see that gooey stuff that used to come out. I remember all of that. Man, I was about 8 years old. Man.
Niggas was vicious.
Yeah.
Y'all pulling.
It's a vicious nigga.
We ain't do that. Good night.
We used to kill squirrels and shit.
Yeah. Y'all was out there being a menace to society. Keep reading, brother.
Okay. Verse 22 in continuing.
Mm-hmm.
And the bald locust after his kind,
Mm-hmm.
and the beetle after his kind,
Mm-hmm.
and the grasshopper after his kind.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Those are beetles. Good night. You can eat a ladybug?
It's a beetle. They're full of protein.
You have all the ladybugs.
The only way I would eat a bug is it wasn't nothing else to eat.
Couldn't. Yeah.
That's the only way I would eat.
I understand. I'm with you on that one. I don't know how I'd eat them though. Lord knows I don't want to taste them. That's the thing about it. I don't want to taste them.
Ain't nothing else to eat. You
eat them. Keep reading, man.
Okay. Verse 23. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you.
Okay, so now we just went through bugs, literal bugs that you can consume. Now we're going to go through bugs that you cannot consume. Mind you, this is the book of Leviticus we're reading from, chapter 11. You can find all of what we're talking about from the things you can and can't eat in the book of Leviticus. These are our laws that Israel has to live by. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
For these shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even.
Good night. So there's a bug that you can kill, I guess, and you can't, well, I guess you can. You can't kill it and pick it up. Right? There you go. Keep reading.
And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until even.
Okay.
The carcass of every beast which divideth the hoof and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that touches them shall be unclean.
So you cannot touch a pork. You can't fry up bacon. You can't, no pork chops. You can't go out and I think if you worked at a slaughterhouse, Lord knows, you better hope that glove is like the glove of protection at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, You can't touch the carcass. You understand what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Verse 27. Whatsoever goeth upon his paws,
Oh, wait a
anything
minute.
that has paws,
What has paws, Yanazar?
a cat,
Pretty little kitty.
all kind of cats, you know what I'm saying, got paws.
Dogs have
Dogs
paws.
have paws, bears.
There you go. Bears
you know,
have paws.
whatever
Yeah.
has paws.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
Among all manner of beasts that go on all four, these are unclean unto you. Whosoever touches their carcass shall be unclean until even.
So here's a kicker right here. You can't touch a dead horse. I mean, I don't know where I would come across a dead horse and why I would have to touch him. Nevertheless, you can't touch a dead horse's carcass. There you go. You can't touch a camel's carcass. You understand? Now, what was the brother's name that had the camel coat? He had a coat in the Bible.
Oh, that was John as well.
There you
He
go.
had camel's hairs for his
coat.
clothes. Yeah.
How did he get those hairs?
He must have bought them from somebody. Because he must have touched the camel, man.
But how did he get them from the camel? He had to cut them off of him.
Yeah, but maybe he was alive.
There you go.
He might have been alive when he cut him.
He was alive because
Like
he
sheep, you can cut their hair while
exactly.
I never thought of that, man.
There you go. Yeah, man. Look, that's what the class is for. You're learning, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can get the fur or the hair or the whatever from it when it's alive. Now, if it's dead, you can't touch its carcass. So he couldn't have got the coat if the animal was dead. So he had to be alive. You understand? If you got on a wool shirt or a wool coat, a pea coat. In Chicago, we like to wear pea coats in the wintertime. You understand? That's a wool coat. How do you get wool? You ain't running around killing sheep for its skin. It grows, they shear it off, and then they cultivate it and make it into whatever they're going to make it into. It's alive when they do it. But if it's dead, it's done. Keep reading.
Verse 28. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean to you.
There you go. We can't touch it. You can't drag it and drag it off. Look, if you got land, you understand, and your sheep dies, wherever it dies, you better throw dirt on them and leave them right there. That's the best way I can say to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you don't want it laying out there rotting and stinking up the air. You bury it right where it's at. Keep reading.
Verse 29. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth.
Here we go. Because now this is gonna be something that, yeah, go for it. What you gonna say?
The weasel,
which
includes the mink and all of those other little weasel-like animals.
Yep.
And the mouse, which includes the rat.
You can't eat that. And guess who eat rat?
The same people.
You know, East Indians.
Hey.
No, actually, I think the East Indians find that as like a god or something, right?
Yeah, they say that they are reincarnated ancestors.
Good night.
Like I saw this documentary where there's this temple in India where they like the rats roam freely. Like they feed the rats. They put out trays of milk and loaves of bread and feed like it's 1 million rats in there, man. And they say that these are their reincarnated ancestors. I kid you not, man. You can look it up and see it for yourself.
Brother.
No kidding.
If the Most High reincarnated your ancestors into a rat, he did not think nothing of them. Yeah. You understand what
Absolutely.
I'm saying?
That's Most High.
He ain't think nothing of them, and you sitting there letting them run all over your thing. You disgusting bastard. Come on, man. Good night. Keep reading, brother.
And the ferret and the chameleon and the lizard.
Wait a second. Go back up to 29, the bottom of 29.
Salakia, sir. And the mouse and the tortoise.
And the tortoise. What is a tortoise, Yanazar?
A turtle.
A turtle. You can't have turtle soup. Yanazar, you laughing. It's real.
I just saw this thing, man. It's funny. in the Galapagos Islands.
Galapagos.
Yeah, they got these big turtles out
Yeah.
there, and they found out that somebody was taking the turtles and making soup out of them, and the turtles was like an endangered species over there, and they was eating the meat and they was making soup out of the turtles, man.
Had to be an oppressor.
Yeah, it had to be. Who else is over there doing that?
Good night. Yanazai, I have a turtle as a pet. No, I have one now, currently. No, it's a little land box turtle. There's nothing about this damn thing that I find tasty. Brother, another one of those things that you can find on the internet of this woman sitting here with steamed turtle, and she's biting the head off the damn turtle and biting the arms off, and they crack the shell open and they eat the meat out of the shell. Bruh. You can't eat turtle. It's not a delicacy. It's not a delectable. It is not consumable. And as Israelites, you look, black folk alone, I know good and damn well, ain't no black man going out frying up no damn turtle. You know what I'm saying? Lord knows. Leave them heathens for what they got, because they're going to have something to deal with, man. That's disgusting. You can't eat tortoise. Keep reading.
And the ferret.
That's another pet. That's a pet.
Yeah.
I have a cousin that had two of them.
Yeah.
That's a pet. You can't eat. I don't see why you understand something.
They omnivores, man.
This is the crazy part about it. You see that it's naming these different things. Why do you think they're naming these different animals? Why do you think we have to be told that you can't eat a turtle, you can't eat a rat, you can't eat a ferret?
If I may, sir, it's because of what they consume themselves. What they take into their bodies is unclean. Mm-hmm. Because a turtle, quiet as kept, a turtle is an omnivore.
Salakia. The reason why it's being told to us is because we were doing it. You understand? You know that at the end of the day, a lot of the things like as far as like safety, when you think of safety is something that they come up with rules after something messed up happens. You understand what I'm saying? You can't ride on the forks of a forklift because somebody was riding on the forks of a forklift and fell off and got ran over by the forklift. You know what I'm saying? This is the same concept. We were doing what we saw other nations doing, and the Most High had to come down and say, hey, stop that. You understand what I'm saying? Keep reading, man.
And the lizard and the snail and the mole. Now, this is another one that shocked me. Like, you know what a Komodo dragon is,
yeah.
Right? Like when it came out during the pandemic, like one of the animals that they would fly over there to those wet markets to eat.
It was Komodo dragon.
Yeah, like it was like I don't know. It was cost mad money to get a Komodo dragon steak. And now, mind you, the Komodo dragon is one of the filthiest animals on the earth.
Is it a venomous animal, right?
It's not venomous. It has such bacteria in its mouth that when it bites its prey, like it bite a deer, right? It'll follow the deer until the deer falls.
Because the bacteria.
Because he has so much bacteria in his mouth. And they were going flying over there to China and those places and eating it, man.
Well, you know they good man. You gonna pay? I'm not gonna pay to go eat no damn lizard. Listen, but we got something like that over here. Do you know they eat snake, brother? You can go down south and it comes in a can, and it's rolled up in the can, and it's snake meat. Listen, man, look. These oppressors is out here just chewing it, putting any damn thing in their mouth and eating it. I don't know, but understand something. The reason why all of these, we are being given this rule, this law not to do it, is because we sat there and saw some cave dweller over there eating some damn unlawful food, and we was like, I wonder what that tastes like. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Israel. Look, this ain't monkey see, monkey do. You understand what I'm saying? Just because you see one of these other nations sitting there doing it, don't mean you jump and go do it too, man. Follow your laws. Be a part of your own damn culture, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop sitting there following everybody else and doing what everybody. We got our own that we can do, and it's lawful. Yeah, we have fun. I'm having a good time right now. You understand what I'm saying? It's not something that's dry and boring. And no, man, come on, man. Look, we got law, statutes, and commandments. Here we go on our food right here. Follow the food laws, man. These laws make it so that we are healthier. You understand? Our body can consume and break down certain things, and there's certain things that we can't. You know, we're not supposed to consume milk, cow's milk. You know what I'm saying? Now, we can consume it, it's lawful or whatever, but our body doesn't process it. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean just because somebody else was doing it, we ran and did it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm trying to get. If there was milking rats, damn it, that don't mean you go and drink rat milk because they can milk the damn rat. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading, brother. You remember where you're at?
Yeah, I'm going with verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whatsoever does touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until even.
Keep going.
Verse 31. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean. So that knocks out roadkill.
There you go. And I was gonna say that because you would think you driving down the road and you got a nice big truck and Bambi jump his ass out in front of the, you know what I'm saying? You think well, you know what? I'm not gonna let this meat go to waste. Yes, you are. You better leave Bambi's ass right there, because that's roadkill. And you just read it again, brother, because I bet you they didn't think I was gonna go over that one. Go for it. Read it from the top. Let them know where you at.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 31. But these are unclean to you among all that creep.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever does touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 32. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood or of raiment or skin or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into the water, and it shall be unclean until the evening. So it shall be cleansed.
Mm-hmm.
That means if you just touch it or pick it up, you got to wash out whatever you put it in, and then after you wash it, it's still unclean until evening.
There you go. That bowl is the look. Throw it away. Keep reading.
Verse 33. And every earthen vessel wherein into any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it.
Keep reading.
Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean.
Read that one more time. Read it slow. Here we go.
Of all meat
Mm-hmm.
which may be eaten.
Which may be eaten. Keep reading.
That on which such water cometh shall be unclean. Meaning that if any of these dead animals touch the water, you can't use the water.
There you go.
And all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean.
If you got that dirty animal water in there, you can't drink it, and the vessel is even dirty. Keep reading.
Verse 35. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean.
In other words, if you take and make a bowl out of an unlawful animal's body, let's take that turtle for instance. You can't keep a turtle bowl. You feel what I'm saying? You can't use the skull of a bear as a bowl. You know what I'm saying? Now you might think this is something cool and something neat. And hey, who else has a bear bowl? Or you know how they'll take bones of different things and they can recreate it into something else or whatever. At the end of the day, don't go and buy a pig boned cup. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Lord knows what they'll sit there and make these days out of a dead animal and try to turn around and sell it to them, fool. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you see it and you know that it comes from an animal that is unclean, that's an abomination. It don't buy it, don't touch it. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, you unclean to the evening. Keep reading.
Okay. Lock here. Verse 35. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether, I read that. Verse 36.
You could have kept reading. Go ahead, 36.
Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean.
What do you think that means?
It means like if you come across some water or a fountain, you understand, and the water's cool, but if the water touches any of these animals,
so how would the water touch the animal?
Maybe like you might find like the water might be running and the animal's dead, and the water might run over.
There's that. Or if you with somebody and they take a unclean animal and wash it in that water, you understand? Now that good water that was good is no good now because you just took my pit water and washed it with your daggone nasty animal. Keep reading. Yeah.
Verse 37. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it shall be clean. Let me read that again. I don't want. If any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it shall be clean.
Right. It shall be clean. Keep reading.
But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean.
Keep reading.
Verse 39. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that touches the carcass thereof shall be unclean until even.
So in other words, if you didn't kill it and you can't eat it, you know what I'm saying? Because in Israel, we hunt for our food. We don't scavenge. We're not going to walk across a dead animal that died of old age out in the daggone woods and decide, hey, here's dinner. No, man, that's unclean. Keep reading.
Verse 40. So he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until even.
Keep reading. That's
he also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until even.
There you go. Keep reading.
Verse 41. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten.
There you go.
All the insects and spiders and all of that.
What does a snake do?
Yeah,
there you go. You can't eat snake. You can't eat the cousin of the snake, which is a lizard. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Verse 42. Whatsoever goeth upon his belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all fours, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. So anything that has more than 4 legs.
But even if it has 4 legs and it's on its belly,
you still can't.
What animal is that?
A frog.
Okay, you're right. A frog. You can't eat frog. What else? Because we was talking about it earlier. 3.
A turtle.
Oh, that's a good one. There's another one. 3, 2. I want to give it to you. The alligator.
Oh, the gator.
The gator. You can't eat the damn gator, man. Now he can eat you, so you better stay away from him. But you can't eat him as retribution for him biting you. Keep going, man.
Verse 43. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby.
You hear that, man? That's straightforward right there. It don't get no more straightforward than that. You can't make yourself unclean. You can't, you can't go and deal with these dead carcasses or these animals or these unlawful things, and you're not supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? You make yourself unclean. Don't make yourself unclean on purpose. Keep reading.
Verse 44. For I am the Lord your God.
Say it again.
For I am the Lord your God.
One more time.
For I am the Lord your God.
There we go. Keep reading.
Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves.
You should do what?
Sanctify yourselves.
Keep going.
And ye shall be holy.
Mm-hmm.
For I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Here, go back to the part, my favorite part. It say, ye shall be what? No, ye shall be holy.
Yeah, sanctified and holy.
Ye shall be holy. You shall be separate. You should see everybody else doing what they do. You should see the oppressors doing what they do in their everyday life, out there wrestling bears and killing them with their bare hand and eating them and all. You should let them do that. You should not want to be the next the next crocodile hunter. You know what I'm saying? You should not want to be the next Bear Grylls. You know what I'm saying? This is not for us to do. Watch them do it. Let them go ahead and do whatever it is that they're gonna do. Don't sit there and aspire to be them. Be holy. Be Israel. Be to yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and be separate, because that's what holy is. You know what I'm saying? It's not some fantastical word that the Christian church like to sit there and throw around like a boomerang. You know what I'm saying? It actually has meaning. It actually has a real power that is associated with it. And that power is being separate. That's a powerful thing, to be considered separate from everybody else. You understand? Keep reading, bro.
Verse 45. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy.
There you go. Keep reading.
Verse 46. This is the law of the beast.
This is what?
The law of the beast.
The law of the beast. We just read, mind you, this is chapter 11 of the book of Leviticus. You understand? The very second verse says, all the beasts of the field on the earth that you can eat. This is the law of the beast that you can and cannot eat. Keep reading.
And of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth.
Keep reading.
Verse 47.
This is the important verse that I need everybody to hinge on right here. Go for it.
To make a difference between the unclean, and the clean.
You hear that? Read it again.
To make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
To make a difference. That means everything that we see out here when we take a walk, when we go hunting, when we go fishing, just because we can kill it and catch it doesn't mean that we can eat it. You understand? When we went fishing, it's been a year or more now that I think about it. When we went fishing, my daughter caught a catfish. Now it broke off the line, the Lord knew what he was doing, but she caught a catfish. We'd have thrown it back anyway. You understand what I'm saying? But that don't mean just because we caught it, we can keep it and eat it. That's not the catch of the day. You understand what I'm saying? We was out there. I think that the name of the fish is crappie or crappie. I think it's crappie, and it sure enough tastes crappy if you ask me, because I like saltwater fish, me personally. But that's another subject for another day. At the end of the day, we out there catching lawful fish. You know what I'm saying? We know what it is that we're looking for when we go fishing and when we go hunting. You know what I'm saying? When we pull a fish out of the water, we checking for those scales, and we checking for fins. You understand what I'm saying? Because now we know that we can eat it. If it didn't have one or the other, or if it didn't have neither for that matter, if we pulled crawfish up out of the water, guess what? That crawfish gets to go back in that water, because at the end of the day, it has a job to do. It's a bottom feeder. That's just like that catfish. That catfish is a bottom feeder. You don't okay, if you go fishing, now you have the bobber and then you have your line with your, you know what I'm saying, your bait on it or whatever. If you're catching low-lying fish, things that are at the bottom of the water or whatever, you have that line long so it can drip and drag close to the bottom of the water. You understand what I'm saying? So those fish that are down there can catch it. But all of the other fish at the end of the day, you keep that about good 2 feet, a foot or 2, 3 feet under the surface of the water. You understand what I'm saying? That's where you catch your, so, you know, what we call lawful fish, because it's not a bottom feeder. You know what I'm saying? We catch fish that we there's a method to fishing. You know what I mean? And that method that we have to use at the end of the day is so that we know we're catching what we're supposed to catch. And if we do catch something that we're not, we throw it back. You understand? If we go out hunting, we know we can hunt for deer. You know what I'm saying? We can hunt, you know, I don't think you necessarily hunt goat. I guess you could hunt a goat. I guess you could. You got wild goats. But if we out hunting deer and we see wild boar, we not killing it for the sport. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna kill it and go down and take a picture of it and, you know, hold his head up, and you know how the oppressor do. The oppressor go and kill something he wanna, you know, take there and hold the damn head of the damn thing up and cheese and smile like he really accomplished something. Fam, you out here with a whole 12 gauge shotgun shooting fish in a barrel. You was gonna hit something. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't done it yet, but I want to go hunting Yanazar with a bow and arrow. I want to put a little difficulty to it. You know what I'm saying? I want to make that kill that I make, you know what I'm saying, worth something. You know what I mean? Because that's what our ancestors did. You know what I'm saying? They did trapping and they did hunting. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you had to, you know, maybe, I don't know, jump out of a tree with a spear, clean down on top of a deer. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't go hunting something that we weren't supposed to. And when we were proud that we were able to bring home something that our family could eat, you know what I'm saying? That's what made us different from everybody else. You know what I mean? We didn't just go hunting for whatever we could and drag back whatever carcass we could possibly find. You know what I mean? We got laws and statutes, man. We're holy. We're separate. You know what I'm saying? We're set apart. Read that from the top again, number 47 for me.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 47.
Mm-hmm.
To make a difference between the unclean and the clean,
Keep going.
and between the beast that may be eaten
Mm-hmm.
and the beast that may not be eaten.
And may not be eaten. All right, so now another thing that you'll hear when it comes to eating is you'll hear you'll hear especially Christians say, oh, it's not what goes in the mouth but what comes out of the mouth. Brother, can you pull that for me? Because I can't, I don't remember exactly where it is. Let me see if I can find it. You got it? Yeah, get that for me. Because at the end of the day, that's not talking about what you can eat and what you cannot eat. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna break that scripture down because you'll hear that a lot. Oh, and another one is you could just pray over it. I want somebody right now, at any point in time between now and when the Lord comes back, to find in the Bible where it says you can pray over any damn thing and just eat it. Because I had, Giannis, you read that? I know you read the Bible. You read the Bible. Have you ever read where it says, oh, no, you can eat swine, just pray over it? I don't think that's in there. Matter of fact, I know it's not, but it's not in there. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just pray over it and eat it. Understand something. When Thanksgiving come and your family sit there and gather around that hog's behind, understand something. You praying over it don't make it okay. You praying at the dinner table tonight and you got a plate full of shrimp, don't make it okay. You understand? You cannot do it. You understand what I'm saying? It is unlawful. What you got? You got that for me, brother? Go for it.
Okay, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 15. And we'll start at verse 10.
You going up?
Matthew 15 and 10.
Go
and
for
11.
it.
And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man,
Mm-hmm.
but that which cometh out of the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
this defileth a man.
Now you'll hear that. You'll hear some Christians sit there and say that, and they make it seem like, oh, it don't matter what you eat. It just matters what you say, and that's not what that means. Read it for me one more time, brother.
Verse 11. He that, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which comes out of the mouth, this defileth a man.
Mm-hmm. Now, brother, tell me what exactly that means, because obviously somebody did not get the proper breakdown, because they made it seem like this was some talking about eating. This is not talking about eating, is it, Yanazar? Microphone.
If I recall correctly,
Mhm.
it's talking about, your spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not talking about what you physically eat. It's talking about what you take in as information.
Right.
You
There
know?
you go. Because that we eat up information. That's the phrase, right? You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, when it says, what did he say? But which cometh out of the mouth is what you foul at the man.
Right.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
That's talking about, like you said, what you say.
There you go.
What comes out of your mouth, you could say something harmful or something filthy,
Mm-hmm.
But if you take in that which is good,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, it's better. That's what's going to come out.
Exactly. And when you hear somebody tell you something about all you have to do is pray over it, that's the other one that I can't seem to find no matter how much I look for it. I seem not to be able to find it in here. But you can't pray over abominable food and it be okay to eat it. It a long time ago when we were enslaved and we had nothing else to eat, they made us eat chitlin. And chitlin is just like pork intestine, right? It's pork intestine. And I remember, my grandmother, she used to eat it. And I remember the distinct smell. You understand? I still can't, for the love of me, understand how something that smells so bad in the 99s and the 2000s, you can still call yourself cleaning and put into your mouth. And then at that, when you understand something, seeing it come out of that tub, that red tub with the white top, I'm seeing it in my head right now. And you cleaning feces out of the intestine. You understand? Yeah, brother. Brother, listen. And then the craziest part for me was they actually had the anus hole of the damn pig.
Like I remember, I never ate chitlins in my life.
No,
I remember
neither.
my first encounter with chitlins, if I may.
Go for it.
My mother had got sick. I was a little kid. I was about 7 years old. My mother had got sick and she was in the hospital. So she told a neighbor, the lady lived in the projects. So she told the neighbor, she asked the neighbor, could we come over and eat with her?
Mm-hmm.
And so we went over to the neighbor's house and she had one of those troughs of chitlins. This was the first time I ever seen chitlins in my life. And I'll never forget it I could see it right now. I could visualize. She opened up the trough of chitlins and the smell just smacked me in the face. And you know what chitlins look like, right?
Yeah, it looked like
It
brain
looks like,
matter.
It's horrible, man. It looks like slimy guts, man. And I never forget that smell. That's when my mother never fed us that. We ate other kind of pork products,
Mm-hmm.
but I never ate two things. I never ate pig feet and I never ate chitlins.
Well,
I ate everything else.
yeah, I mean, understand something. I remember eating pork chops as a child.
And that was like a delicacy, man.
Look, and I still don't understand it. I don't understand what was so special about that damn thing.
It was special because it was like a more expensive part of the pork.
Really now?
Yeah, and like the pork chop was like supposed to be the best cut of the pork.
Best cut of the worst animal.
Yeah. It was like the steak of the pig.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I guess. Okay. I can draw that.
I remember, man, as a child, like pork chop night was like
That was the night, huh?
Boy, that was it, man.
Boy.
And ham, oh Lord. You know, we used to love that.
Man. Now
But
listen,
we didn't know no better.
I remember, because I was a kid. I didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? I remember that the day after ham, after Thanksgiving, that next day, man, not even that, making that sandwich the next day. Man, making that, look, you would sit there and almost have a fight on your hands trying to get that meat to make that damn sandwich the next day, man. Good night. And coming into the knowledge of the truth and knowing at the end of the day that we would, just indulging in such an animal that is unlawful. Like I pray, like I have done the best I could possibly do with trying to teach my children not to eat pork and why not to eat it. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they don't know no better. And if you give it to them, they're going to eat it because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? But you got to teach a child. You got to raise a child up in the way that it should be. You know what I'm saying? Where's that scripture at? Find that scripture for me. You have to raise a child up, and it will not, what it says is raise a child up and it will not depart from something like that. Yeah, it will not depart. That's what we have to do when it comes to this food laws, man. We have to raise our children up to know that, you can't eat pork chop and you can eat steak. Proverbs 22:6. Pull that for me, brother. Look, bright leaf hot dog is something that is a big thing here in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And it's a red, cased pork hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Bright leaf. Think that's the name brand of it or whatever. And my rib, I had to, I got my rib to stop eating pork. And that was one of those things that she said, that and bacon at the end of the day is something that she said that she used to eat. And that was one of the things she used to eat all the time. And it's like, it doesn't matter how good your mind thinks this thing tastes. You know what I'm saying? You have to associate it with the most disgusting thing because that's what it is. It is an abomination unto you, meaning that it is something disgusting. You have to train yourself to know that this is not something you're supposed to consume. And then that teach your children that, look, yes, you can have a hot dog, but you need to eat a turkey hot dog. You need to eat a beef hot dog. Me personally, for a long time, I stopped eating hot dogs. I didn't like the texture. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the bite. And then when you learn what makes a hot dog, it's just the ground up scraps and it's put through a machine and it's pushed out like a paste of some sort into a casing and then made into this cylinder object that you call a hot dog. But it's garbage, basically, just like the chitlin is. It's garbage. You understand what I'm saying? We have to train our children to know what trash is because when they go to school and they jump in the line, they're just going to eat whatever. Teach them to ask questions. What is this? What is that? What is that made out of? You got that for me, brother?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
You understand? Train up a child in the way he should go. Teach him the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Teach him these food laws that we have. Teach him how to be holy and separate from everybody else and to be different, and that it's okay. And when he gets older and he moves out of your house, or when she moves out of your house and they get their own household, they will not leave from what you taught them and what you raised them up in. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when you do a good job like we do in the ISUPK. You understand what I'm saying? We teach our children not just not to do what we say, but why not to do what we're saying to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's laws, statutes, and commandments to keep us alive because we are dead in this world by following these other people, by following these oppressors, by doing everything that they do, by eating everything that they eat, because we think that it's okay to do what they're doing because they're doing it. We want to be appropriate to all these other cultures except our own. You understand? And our own says that we should not do this and we should not do that. Understand something. If they were given these laws, statutes, and commandments, if they were told not to do something, do you think they would do it or not? You understand what I'm saying? Part of me likes to believe if they had the laws, they would do it. Why don't we? We have the laws. It was given to us.
So lucky.
Go for it.
I don't mind. Like, they've had this Bible in their possession since the time of Christ, or shortly thereafter, and they still haven't done the law
because they weren't given the laws.
Okay,
you understand what I'm saying?
they had access.
They had access to it, but if somebody said that, if Christ came down and said Jews and Gentiles alike, this is what you should do and this is what you shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Then will we have a fight on our hands? You know what I'm saying? We'd have an argument then. But they weren't given the laws. That's why it's okay for them to do everything that they do. You know what I'm saying? We have laws, and it's not okay for us to do what they do. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get nothing from tonight's class at the end of the night, pick up the book of Leviticus chapter 11. Read the book of Leviticus in chapter 11. You know what I'm saying? Read through it and pay attention. Google these different things. You understand what I'm saying? And then reflect back on your life, how you grew up and the things that you did and the things that you ate. And know that if you'd have known then what you knew now, you would know not to do it. If my mother and my father and my grandmother and father knew the severity of the rules of and the punishments, I mean, I'm sure they did, but they thought it was a joke in a story. If they took it as serious as they take getting up and going to work every damn morning, we would not be eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We would not be wanting to try bear meat. We would not be eating snake bites and alligator bites and lobster bites and all of this other abominable crap that we sit there and decide to consume because they say it's a delicacy. They say it's good. You know what I'm saying? Look, if sea roach is so good, how come they not frying up German roaches, German cockroaches? Because them damn things is big. You understand what I'm saying? Why ain't German cockroaches getting fried up? You understand what I'm saying? If they're going, if you're gonna eat that, you might as well eat that too, right? Yeah, but you know what? We don't, because we have laws. You see them, if you saw them eating German cockroach, damn it, don't do it. Just because they're doing it and they say it's good, don't mean you go and do it. Pick the book up that's collecting dust on the side of the bed. Wipe that book off that's on the mantle. Ask grandma to pull that big old book out from up under a bed and crack open the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and read through it. Learn something at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Learn something at the end of the day. Learn that you were given, an order. You know what I'm saying? That was handed down, you understand, of what to do and not to do. You understand what I'm saying? And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Precinct Officer Yanazar.